light and darkness crisscross. And got my crew pissed off. It's like my wrist off. I'm writing rhymes till time hits for my mind is a PMN.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Grave, and today we got a whole bunch of news to talk about. So Sony's showing their showcase for Paris Games Week was yesterday, 2017. We got a lot to talk about, so I mean, let's just get into it. So for the pre-show, I got my notes right here. We're gonna read what was shown, what was announced, and then I'll talk about that. And then we will read what was shown, what was announced for the showcase, and I will talk about that. So for the pre-show, we had Guacamelee 2 announced. I played a little bit of Guacamelee. It was fun. I didn't have a bunch of friends to play it with. And usually experiences like that are not something that I'm too interested in. So yeah, so let's get into it. So we had Guacamelee 2 announced. This game called the Hong Kong Massacre, which is like a top-down shooter. It kind of looked like Max Payne mixed with like a John Woo movie. It was pretty cool. The Gardens Between Us, Loco Roco 2, Sims 4 for PlayStation 4, PlayStation Pro, Sprint Vector, which is PSVR, Moss, Resident Evil 7 DLC, Not a Hero, featuring Chris Redfield, and Episode Ignis for Final Fantasy 15. As a whole, I'm not really that interested in PSVR, so the Moss game looked really cool, and the Sprint Vector game looked really cool. A lot of the other stuff they showed for PSVR I didn't really take notes on because I'm just not a believer yet. When we have a more substantial understanding of VR, and when VR is a little bit more accessible to just the common gamer, even though I think PlayStation has the most accessible version right now, I'll revisit my thoughts on VR, but for right now, I'm just not that interested. But yeah, Guac 2 and the Hong Kong Massacre, those two games did interest me a lot. 4-player co-op for Guac 2, that's going to be pretty sick. I'll see if I can get 3 of my friends, and we'll try to stream that when it does drop in 2018. And we'll keep an eye out for the Hong Kong Massacre. But I just wanted to tell you what was coming out. The rest of the stuff, I mean, I'm not a fan of Sims. I don't really care. And Loco Roco is just not my jam. So, you know, we're going to kind of gloss over that. Not My Hero DLC for Resident Evil 7 looks dope to me. I didn't play RE7. I just, it did not grab me. I didn't, that's not how I want to experience my Resident Evil games, even though it's going to be a contender for Game of the Year. It just didn't interest me to play it. So, I mean, the DLC looks pretty cool, but again, probably the best way to play that is in VR, and I'm not into that, so we'll probably skip that. The Episode Ignis. Now, I didn't have a channel when Final Fantasy dropped last year in November, but I loved Final Fantasy 15, and I almost 100%ed it. I think I had to do like a couple more fishing missions or whatever, which is, you know, it is what it is. I mean, you know, I'm not a huge like trophy guy, you know, so maybe I'll 100% it eventually, but I've been waiting for all the DLC for that game to drop to eventually go through it again. So I'm kind of thinking maybe next year, when I'm trying to do the Extra Life stream, the 24-hour stream that's coming up this week, but next year, because I'm not prepared for it. I think I will probably stream a huge amount of Final Fantasy 15 from the beginning to wherever I get. And we'll do it like that because I want to see all the extra content. I want to see what they did with Chapter 13. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. It looks fucking pretty sick. Ignis is one of my favorite characters, so I'm down with that. So let's just move on to the actual PlayStation Media Showcase, where we were being led to believe that it was going to be E3 Part 2. Now, the whole thing was billed as E3 Part 2, but the pre-show was fine. I'm sure that there are people out there that were just losing their fucking minds, and that wasn't for me. Like, I don't think I was the audience for that. And the media showcase, while we didn't get a lot of release dates and was kind of lackluster, there were some big announcements and some big trailers played. So let's get into it, and then we'll get the thoughts and everything out there, because this is the part where Grave gets to fanboy and where Grave gets to show y'all what he fucks with when it comes to games. So I'm just gonna read off my little notes right here, and then we'll get into it. So first was Ghost of Tsushima, which is the new Sucker Punch game. Put an asterisk in that because we're coming back to that. Concrete Genie, which looked like a I don't know, like an art game. It's like really weird. It kind of looked like those stop motion movies, like the Nightmare Before Christmas like style. What was that one, Corinne or whatever, like that style of animation and stuff. There's an audience out there for some. There's an audience out there for that game, definitely. It looked interesting. I was kind of thinking about maybe getting it for my daughter or for my wife, because like they're really into art and they love shit like that. So again, there is an audience out there, but it's not for me. It's not for your boy. I won't be picking it up to play it. Maybe for them. Erica is another weird one. We'll get back to that. Blood and Truth is another weird one, and I believe that is a VR game. Far Cry 4, put an asterisk in that. Destiny Curse of Osiris, also put an asterisk in that. I know I haven't done my Destiny 2 review or my NBA 2K18 review, and we'll discuss that. We'll discuss that probably at the end of the video. Monster Hunter Worlds, asterisk in that. I'm not even gonna go with it. Okay. Spider-Man PS4, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Shadow of the fucking Colossus, and then Last of Us 2. Now, people, let's go one by one. This Ghost of Tsushima Sucker Punch game, now I will be full transparency, I am not a huge Sucker Punch fan. I did not like Infamous. I did not like Infamous 2. I did not like... I mean, Second Son was okay. I never finished it. It was okay. I just was never a huge fan of the Sucker Punch games. I always thought that the prototype games were better, because I think that the people that did the Hulk Ultimate Destruction games on Xbox, or game on Xbox, did the prototype games, and they were just way more up my alley, story wise, aesthetic wise. That was my thing. So I'm not a huge Sucker Punch fan, but I know Sucker Punch makes great games. They just didn't really speak to me. But bro, Samurai Ninja, you say no more. When Graves sees Samurai, when Graves sees Ninja, that's why Neo will probably be my game of the year this year. Boy, like, come on, bro. Like, I'm so fucking hyped. Like, and Sucker Punch has the pedigree to deliver, so I can't wait. I hope that they keep some of the traversal that they had in the Infamous games in this game. Now, obviously, I don't know if he's gonna have powers or whatever. It kind of looked like he had like a fire power when he was like burning, or like maybe like a blood power, and like that would be sick if he could use that to get around and stuff. Like maybe a blood mist that he can use for like after images, and like a fire power that he can use to like propel himself around the world and stuff. That could be sick. This game could be really awesome, and it's open world, so I'm really about that life. Like this game is now on Graves' radar. We will be talking about this game on Grave TV, period. It was just announced, no real nitty gritty details, but I'm like, if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend you go and check out the trailer. It's called Ghost of Tsushima. That shit, go check out the trailers. Definitely on my radar. Again, Concrete Genie, possibly a game for my wife or my daughter. It's not a game for me. There's an audience out there for it though, so if you're interested in that, Concrete Genie, you can check out that trailer. Erica, I know everyone's making a big deal about this game, and not everyone, but the people I watch, like Kind of Funny. I know Tim was making a big deal about it, like saying that he's interested in it, and Greg was kind of interested in it as well. Not for me. Because of another game on this list, that game is completely obsolete. I don't know what PlayLink is. I haven't really kept up on that. I am not interested. Moving on. Blood and Truth. Again, a VR experience. If I had VR, or this was like a little bit more accessible price-wise and stuff like that, it would definitely be something I would fuck with, just because I like that, gunplay and stuff like that, and I always thought that's what was going to be cool with VR. That's why maybe, again, like Farpoint 2, Farpoint was another one they showed in the sizzle reel. I might, those games, once I am indoctrinated to VR and once I get into it, those will definitely be 2 games on my radar. Moving on. Far Cry 4. We got a release date. It's going to be February 27th, 2018. Now, I loved Far Cry 2. Oh, excuse me. Not Far Cry 2. I loved the original Far Cry. I liked Far Cry 3. But Far Cry has been a hit or miss for me, as you can see. Far Cry 2 was eh. But Far Cry 4, there's something about it, man. There's something about it that makes me want to check it out. I don't know why, but it just makes me want to check it out. So I most likely will be checking out Far Cry 4 in February if I have the cash to purchase it. If not, it will be down the road and I'll check it out. But stay tuned. We'll probably get into like a review and impressions of that game as well when it drops in February. But that's the big news about it. It's got a release date. And I actually think that the release date was announced way before this, but I didn't have a channel then, so I can't really say anything about it. Now, the co-op thing that they were trying to show, like every mission is co-op and all that, I don't necessarily know how well that's going to work. Like, I think you're going to need a really good group of friends to go through that and fuck around, because like in games like that, you're either going in there to just fucking wreak havoc, or you want to complete the missions. You want to play a little tactically and have a little bit more fun that way. So we'll see how that shakes out. It'll probably be a solo experience for me. Moving on, we got Destiny Curse of Osiris, December 2018. Now, in my Destiny Impressions video, I was very high on Destiny 2. And I haven't played Destiny in almost 3 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, 3.5 weeks. And that's not because what I said in my Destiny 2 impression video isn't ringing true for me now after the honeymoon stage is over. It's just, I think I set my expectations perfectly for Destiny 2. I got what I wanted out of Destiny 2, so I do not know if I will be sticking around for any future DLCs or anything like that. I just feel like this games as a service, or this style of game, the open world, shared world shooter, I need more from that for me to really be invested, super invested. I also think that that's why games like Ghost Recon are a little bit more fun to me, just because I prefer third person shooting and shooters in general to first person. So it's just I have my fun. I'm glad that I played it. I really love it, and if you guys are into it, play on, like fucking get one for grave, like do your thing. If you were on the fence about it, I still think you should pick it up because it is a really fun game. I think that it did a hell of a lot more better than Destiny 1. And if you're thinking about jumping in, I think you should. But for me, I think my time with Destiny 2 is done, just for me. I mean, I will, again, we will talk about my reviews and how I'm going to try to structure that at the end of the video. So we're moving on. Again, I am not a huge fan of Monster Hunter. I think I've only played like an hour worth of Monster Hunter for any iteration of the game. But Monster Hunter World, whoo, like, that shit looks so sick. I already pre-ordered, and they had some pretty big announcements. So, first of all, beta for all PlayStation Plus members, December 9th. Okay? That's like a month away. December 9th. I can't fucking wait. Like come December 9th, it's download city, and I'm in there. Also, they announced that you will be able, that Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, which is fucking pretty cool, is going to be a playable character in Monster Hunter World. So, if you're a chick and you want to fuck with Monster Hunter World, I mean, they do have female hunters, but I mean, Aloy just looks so fucking sick. Why wouldn't you want to play as her? Or if you loved Aloy in Horizon, my boy, she's in here. Like, you got it, and she's got her sick ass bow and everything. Like, what? Like, okay, that's what's up. They also announced the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC. Now, that's a game that is going to be a heavy contender for Game of the Year. We will get into Game of the Year predictions, my Game of the Year, and we will discuss that closer to the middle of November. So maybe 2.5 weeks away. We'll get into that. But that's a game I missed this year. Unfortunately. So I don't have a huge amount of information to go off of, but I know it's going to be a Game of the Year contender. And that's awesome. Like, I'm happy that Sony is doing so fucking well, and I'm happy that Horizon Zero Dawn is doing well. It looked phenomenal. So it's definitely something I'll probably check out next year, but mark my words, Game of the Year contender, definitely, is Horizon Zero Dawn. And their DLC looks pretty cool too. But yeah, Monster Hunter World. Aloy's playable, beta, December 9th. Get hyped, because I know I'm hyped, bro. I'm fucking hyped for that shit. I can't wait. Although, I think Monster Hunter drops the same day as Dragon Ball FighterZ, which puts me in a conundrum, because I'm going to have to go with FighterZ first, just because that's really what I'm focusing on when it comes to my channel, because I'm so hyped for that game. It's my most anticipated. Moving on. Again, gotta keep moving, bro. We're already almost at 20 minutes. Spider-Man PS4. No release date, but that trailer, I was hyped. I know a lot of people are kind of concerned about QTEs, which when do we hate QTEs? Like, I don't. Me, I'm an old school, like, I'm old, dude, like, well, not old, but in the gaming sphere, I'm old, I'm almost 30, and I remember when QTEs first started coming around. I love QTEs. I thought they were awesome. I think that they're a way to get a really cinematic part of the story with you interacting with it, which is like what video games are about. They're interactive media, they're interactive entertainment. I fucking love QTEs if done right. If they're done well, I love them. And like the fucking Storm games, like in the well, CyberConnect 2's games in general, like all the stories, they have QTEs in them. Azura's Wrath, I don't know if you ever play Azura's Wrath, but like the QTEs in that game were fucking awesome, dude. Like they're awesome. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the art. I'm not worried about the animations. I'm not worried about anything. The only thing that I am worried about when it comes to Spider-Man PS4, because I gotta be honest, is the combat and the story. Because the story looks awesome, but I just hope it's fleshed out enough and full enough for when we get to the end, we feel like, wow, that was fucking worth it, and I want to go through it again, or what did I miss so we can go through it again. Like I really, really hope that it's fucking worth it, guys. Like, and gals. Okay? I really hope it's worth it. We'll see. The combat is something, again, that I'm also kind of I'm concerned a little bit, because I want the combat to be Arkham style. I love the Arkham combat, and I feel like Spider-Man would benefit so much from that. And from the looks of it, it does look like it's kind of part Arkham, part the Amazing Spider-Man games that came out like a couple years ago. And I don't know which one is going to win out, and I'm really hoping that the combat is fast, fluid, hard hitting, because Spider-Man hits like a fucking freight train when he wants to, and just a spectacle, because that's what it's about. You're a superhero. We want this to be a spectacle. We want this to be, I want to be like the whole time I'm playing. Like, that's what I want. So just minor concerns. Still looks fucking awesome. Let's go. Detroit Become Human. Actually, my fault. Before moving on, they did not give a release date for Spider-Man, but I cannot believe that this game will be their late 2018 game. Like, I feel like Spider-Man is either going to be next year's Horizon and come out in February, or it's going to be middle of the road, June, July. We'll find out, right? So anyway, moving on. Detroit Become Human. Wow. That's all. Wow. Now, I don't know if you played Beyond Two Souls, and I don't know if you played Heavy Rain, but again, this is the reason why I don't understand why people hate QTEs, because Heavy Rain was fucking awesome, and the majority of the action and shit that happened in Heavy Rain, QTEs, and it was considered one of the games of the year when it came out. Beyond Two Souls didn't do as well critically or commercially, but again, I thought the gameplay was pretty cool from what I played of the demos and stuff, and QTEs. Detroit Become Human is going to be all about choices and QTEs, but this game looks like it is really shaping up to be a psycho thriller. Like, we are going to go for a ride when we play this game, and the replayability and the streamability of this game is going to be unmatched when it fucking drops. It's going to be #1 streamed on Twitch for a while. It's going to be you bring this game to a party and have everyone participate. Like, there's so many things you can do with this game, and I am fucking ready. Again, it says spring 2018, so I'm thinking, April, May-ish. We're going to have a few games in 2018 that are going to be coming out back-to-back like we did this year. And I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. But Detroit is definitely on Graves' radar, and it should be on yours as well, because that game is going to be fucking awesome. Moving on. We got God of fucking War. Like, boy. Oh my God, my boy. Like, seriously? Oh my God. Kratos is back. Like, I love God of War. God of War 1, 2, and 3 were fucking awesome. I didn't really play the prequel, but I just love Kratos because he's just so fucking brutal. And having his son with him is just it's gonna be a journey, and that's what I'm looking for. Like, it looks like it's part Tomb Raider, part God of War, like melding out together. Like, let's go. Like, I'm so fucking happy for Kratos. I'm happy that he got that he's getting his shine back. Like, we missed you, Kratos. We missed you. I did. I don't know about everybody else. People are haters. Some people are, I didn't like Kratos. That's a lie. When God of War was coming out, everybody was playing those games. Maybe you didn't like his character, but everybody was playing those games. You was fucking the bitches. You was tearing heads off of centaurs and shit like that. We were all doing that, okay? I was fucking them up. Like, let's go. I can't wait. Again, 2018. We all, it's March, okay? I say March 20th because that's a Tuesday. Who knows? But historically, God of War usually launches in March. So we all know that's going to be March 2018. I know they're not saying it. I think they're going to save that for PSX, and they're going to save Days Gone for PSX. But I think we're going to get a March release date for that. And that's get fucking hype. I can't wait. And then Shadow of the Colossus and Last of Us 2. Those are the last two things we need to talk about. Wow. The Shadow of Colossus remake is... when I was watching the gameplay they were showing, I literally had a tear in my eye. Because I loved Shadow of the Colossus. That game was so awesome. Scared the shit out of me when we had to go up against the big-ass bird Colossus, or Colossi, and then the serpent Colossi. Scared, because if you know, you'll find out about me, I hate water in games. Like, I have an innate fear of water in games. Like, when I see a huge body of water, I fucking, like, that's why when I play Assassin's Creed Origins, like, I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. Same thing with Monster Hunter. Like, I shit bothers the fuck out of me. And if you know anything about Shadow of the Colossus, those two fucking Colossi, like, are near huge bodies of water, and the shit, like, woo, I can't wait. I cannot wait. We're gonna stream that, people. Definitely streaming that shit. You're gonna watch me shit my fucking pants, but whatever. I can't wait for that game. It looks crazy. Like this is the original vision. Like, I know when they were developing this game before, I know that they were like, man, I wish we could get the graphical fidelity this, like, realistic. And now that it's being remade, this is the truest vision and truest version of Shadow of the Colossus. And if you haven't played it and you missed it, you should pick that shit up. Definitely. Again, we got a 2018 window. We didn't really get a release date, but hey, like, pick it up if you haven't played it. And then Last of Us 2. Now, we gotta talk about this because Days Gone and Last of Us 2 are two tentpole titles for Sony. Like, I really think that Sony wants to push Days Gone, and I'm fucking excited for Days Gone. Like, I really think it could be like the yin to Last of Us 2's yang. Like, you know, Joel and Ellie are the more somber, connected story, and then I'm not sure what the dude's name is in Days Gone, but the writer, the motorcycle dude, the dude that looks like Daryl from Walking Dead, right? He's the more actiony, you know, setting traps, beating the shit out of people, side of the coin. Like, I feel like they can have the more actiony side. Last of Us can have the more drama, stealthy side. Even though there's going to be stealth in Days Gone, I'm just saying, like, they can both exist in the same space, but they cannot come out anywhere near each other, which I don't think they won't, because we won't see Last of Us 2 until at least 2019, 2020. But they got to do a better job of distinguishing these games if they're going to keep showing Last of Us 2 teasers. Because I was saying Days Gone the entire time they were showing that trailer, up and until they were like Last of Us 2, and I was like, really? Last of Us 2? Now don't get me wrong, the trailer was brute. The trailer was brutal as fuck, and I was like, woo! Like when they were breaking that chick's arm, I was like, woo! Like that shit was woohoo! Like woo! Like okay, like I know, woo! Like I know, but they gotta do a better job, because I thought that shit was Days Gone, and that is not good. Like we can't. Days Gone has to come out next year. Days Gone has to come out next year. I don't know when. I think that's going to be the fall game, and that's fine if it's the fall game, but it has to drop next year to get away from this Last of Us 2 comparison. Because, first of all, I don't need to see anything else for Last of Us 2. Okay? I'm sold. I love Last of Us. We don't need to see anything else. This trailer was unnecessary. It was good, but it was completely unnecessary. We did not need this. And I think that they need to stop showing Last of Us 2 until Days Gone is done. It has a release date, and it's out and released. We can't see anymore, because you're going to pollute Days Gone. I'm telling you guys, you gotta stop showing Days Gone. Last of Us 2 before Days Gone is released, because people will be confused, and that is not good. You do not want to fuck up what why can't I think of the studio that's doing Days Gone? Like, that's what I mean. Like, Naughty Dog and Last of Us are like killing me right now. Can't think of it. Quick, let me check. We gotta check. Hold on, because that's gonna bother the shit out of me. Sorry, but that's gonna bother the shit out of me. Like, we gotta check. What is Days Gone Studio? Oh my God, Studio Bend. Like, really, really grave. Like, okay. But yeah, we gotta let Ben breathe. We gotta let Ben get their game out and get their marketing out and their message out before we let Naughty Dog and Last of Us derail that train. Because Days Gone looks really fucking awesome, and I think it's gonna do a lot of things differently than Last of Us. But those games will be heavily compared no matter what. Especially Last of Us fanboys will heavily compare Days Gone to it, and we need to kind of stop the bleeding now. So no more Last of Us 2. I don't want to see any more Last of Us 2, Sony, until at least E3 2019, because I doubt that it will be out before then. I don't know more. Or PSX 2018 at the end of the year, or the Game Awards at the end of the year when Days Gone is already released, because you're gonna kill it. It's gonna sell way less if you don't keep those games apart, in my opinion. Now, who the fuck? I am not a fucking, I'm not in the industry. I don't have my finger on the pulse of Sony or their devs. I'm just starting out. I have no clout whatsoever. But I'm just saying, if you guys see this, or if anyone from you just happen upon it, you gotta stop. You gotta stop, because I want Days Gone to be fucking awesome. So, that's it, guys. That's fucking it. We're at 35 minutes. Long time. I understand for y'all to sit here. Maybe you could break it up in chunks or whatever. But it was fun. And I had a great time. It wasn't E3 Part 2 like we were originally led to believe, but there were some fucking bangers going on, like getting fucking shown and shit. So again, my 10 polls. Ghost of Tsushima, that shit is going to be awesome, or at least I hope it is, and it's on my radar. Grave is his interest is peaked. Monster Hunter World announcement, awesome. Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human, Shadow of the Colossus. That's 5 things, man. Those are the ones that I'm keyed in on, and that's gonna be awesome. So real quick, let's talk about my reviews. I have not done a single game review on my channel yet, and that's because I realized that me personally, when I get a new game, like, and I'm in love with it at first, like, I have this honeymoon stage where, like, I just can't get enough, and, like, I am just enamored, and it doesn't allow me to think all the way clearly, to put my thoughts out there clearly and concisely. So I've been struggling with how I want to do reviews, because I know reviews are usually best when they, you know, when the game first drops, you want to put your review up, but I feel like that's not the best way for me to give my full opinion on the game. Now, I can do impressions when the game drops and tell you whether or not, if you like certain things, you should buy it, and that's what I will do. But my reviews will always be late. They will always be at least, you know, 2-3 weeks, a month late, because I want to be able to digest and fully understand where my thoughts are on the game before I make a judgment. So Destiny 2 and NBA 2K18 are coming. Right now it's kind of busy for me with everything that's going on in my life, and, you know, gaming news and stuff like that. It's going to get busy because we're setting up for the end of the year. Game of the year is coming, so, and then Game Awards, all that. So they are coming, and trust me, they will be measured and thought out, and I will try to really give you guys my pure thoughts on the games, and I hope you guys enjoy them when they drop. But for now, Graves talked too long. I'm sure y'all ready to end the video. I'm ready to end the video. About to go hop on Ghost Recon with one of my boys and get some of this loot. So, hey, thanks for sticking around. If you're fucking with me and you've been riding with me from the beginning, I appreciate you. Okay? Comment down below, because we know we want the comments. You know I want to talk to y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me at Beyond the Grave on Twitter and Instagram. And for everything else, gaming news, we're going to do reviews, and anything else that you need, it's here on Grave TV. So we'll be back. And I appreciate all y'all. Peace.